Hello, everybody. Give me a thumbs up or a wave, something. Let me know you can hear me and see me. Hello, Jeremy, Harola, Carol, Robin. Full house going on. Tom. Let's see. Who else? Barb, Carol, Katia. Let's see who else is in here. Okay, people have cat problems. That's why I have dogs. Hi, Arlene. Thank you, Harola. Narsha, thank you very much. Oh, maybe you'll get some blue ribbons again this year. Hope so. Wishing you all the luck. Hi, Jeremy. I seen all your pretties on the Facebook group. It is really, really, really welcome to see them. Loved your little badge. It was so cute. The square beads work better for the vertical. I really like that. Hi, Mary Jane. I love cats, really. Seriously, I do. I'm just highly allergic to them. If I get in the same room with a kitty cat, oh gosh, my eyeballs look like they're this big round. Hey, that's cool. That's cool. I like to see that. Yeah, I know you didn't use square ones, but you was going to use square ones because you didn't have the round ones. But I'm saying the square ones, I seen one, I think it was Pinterest or somewhere, where they used the square letters that had the vertical drilled holes, and they put it on their badge this way, and it gave the badge a whole different look. It was really, really unique. Hi, Esther. Glad you can make it, hon. Y'all have to bear with me today. I'm tired. My tard's tired. Gazella, Argentina. Awesome. Awesome. We're a fan of yours as well. We love all our students. Hi, Jill. Thank you very much, Jill. Thank you very much. Today's going to be a little bit shorter than normal because we're going to finish up the, well, I'm going to show you how to finish up the suncatcher, and then that's going to be about it. I got a lot of stuff going on today and this weekend, and we got to do it between the rain. So, yeah, we got to work on the rig. It's normal maintenance time, so fun days. He gets on the roof. I don't. I don't climb ladders. My ladder climbing days ended a long time ago. Nanetta, hello. So glad you could make it. Hi, Pam. How you feeling? Tom, I didn't get a chance to ask you about your wife. How's she doing? Well, I hope. Y'all keep Tom's wife in your prayers. She has myeloma, if I said that right. Anyway, it's a form of cancer, and she's going through chemo. So keep her in your prayers, please. Also, remember to keep Georgia and Richard in your prayers. Awesome, awesome, Pam. Pam's the lady that sends out all the emails for me. Katia, she is a huge help to the needle tatting community. Pam is a needle tatter, but she handles the office stuff. So she handles all the email and the group page. Me, I just do all the work. Mary, I have to say thank you, a special thank you to you. I saw your video and that was awesome. I would like permission to put a link up on our resource site for your YouTube channel. If you don't mind, please give me a yes. Because what you're doing with tatting takes it to a new direction. Okay? It's almost time for class. We got about 4 minutes. Let's give them time to come in. While y'all are sitting there, I want every one of you to hit that thumbs up. Okay, we're trying to build our algorithm and get the better ads so that we draw in more money to support the classes. Okay, so yeah, I try not to swamp you with ads, folks. I don't swamp you with ads. I can place them wherever I want them. Anything that comes extra, they do it. I don't. Mary, don't say that. You did the angel. You've done the split ring bead. That's pretty tech savvy there, kid. Don't think it's not. You did good on it. I was just impressed. I love that you're using tatting in a different way than what they used it 40 years ago. That just makes my heart do this. And Bev, hey, how you guys doing? Mary, so glad you made it. Got a couple of more minutes. Make sure you give a thumbs up, hit that like and that notification bell and all that. I'll link below Jeremy after class, her YouTube channel, but I'm also going to add it to the website under resources. That's awesome, Mary. That is awesome. And that's what this group is about, is to keep tatters inspired. Hi, Marie. You're very welcome, Mary. Very welcome. Like I said earlier, today's going to be a smaller class because we want to get that goalie finished. Now, mind you, mine's not finished yet. I've been working on it. Welcome, Brenda. I just seen you pop in. I knew you was coming. It just sort of kind of went blank for a second. Thank you, Katia, for that. I appreciate that a lot. Katia speaks French, and we have some foreign students that speak French, and Katia communicates with them on their language, and that is a huge help to the classes, a huge help. I don't want to turn anybody away if I don't have to. Yeah, I know. I mean, well, mine, yesterday I washed clothes all day. After I washed clothes, I cooked supper, and after that, I was ready for my nap, and I slept. Dennis went up to take the laundry up to the dryer because I got a wash machine. I don't have a dryer on the rig. And I washed it all. He took it up there and dried it, and I fell asleep on the couch. Awesome, Brenda. Awesome. Carla, you're way past grasshopper. I'm just saying. All right, folks, it is now 3 o'clock. I want to tell you we got a full house today. And today we are going to finish that dolly, making it into a sun catcher. Now, I'm going to show you the technique to mount. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Stephen. I'm going to show you the technique used to mount it to your rings, but I'm going to show you how to measure your rings so that you have the right amount of space for your dolly. Okay, so any questions on last week's classes, the split ring? But before we get into questions, I do have some people to thank here. We have super chats and donations. All right, I'm going to try to name everybody every week. Okay. Excuse me. Kristen, Nancy, Nasha, I think that's her name. Jill, and Q Najayan. I'm not sure I said that right. Hi, Janella. But I want to thank each and every one of you for your donations. It really does help, and it supports the classes by supporting the webpage and any computer equipment or cameras that we may need to teach the classes. Hi, Jolynn. Boy, y'all just coming in. I tell you, so glad we got such a big classroom here. That way we can have everybody. All right, all right. Thanks, Pam. Pam's been keeping track of it. I don't transfer. It transfers automatically over to the class account. So it'll show up on next month's posting of, hi, Deborah, of the stat page. Okay, every time I show the stat page, it will show the donations that have been paid. All right, so without further ado, let's get started on today's class. Anybody got questions? I will ask that one last time. If you do not, then we will go into the down shot. So I am going to give it a couple of minutes and then move on to the down shot. Now, Deborah, you're in Oregon, correct? Where at in Oregon? What town, what city, what, country, whatever. I know you're in Oregon. We have some students in the class that may be looking for tatting buddies. If anybody is looking for a tatting buddy, we are going to work on in the group page where everybody lives and try to get tatting buddies hooked up. Is that okay with everybody? Because, you got to have tatting buddies. You just gotta. And well, somebody was asking for a tatting buddy in Oregon. Where at in Oregon, I don't know. But somebody was inquiring about a tatting buddy. I don't know if they're in class today, but if they are, please get in contact. Thank you very much, Mavis. Thank you very much. But get in touch with each other and, work together. Okay. I encourage that. Yeah, we have a whole tatting group in North Carolina. Now, Arlene can hook you up with that. So, but we're going to get together with everybody and we're going to create a little map, okay, that says where everybody's at, their area. So if you send in your city, she will add it to the contact info. And when someone is looking for a tatting buddy, we can hook the two of you up and y'all can tat and chat. Okay, just send it in to Pam. She'll take care of it. Okay, folks? So let's go to the down shot so that we can get started on this. All right? There we go. That is what's on my desk. I know it looks like a mess, doesn't it? But it's really not. I'm going to show you some things, folks. Now, first of all, let's get this out of the way. This is how far I've made it on mine. Y'all see that pretty good? I'm on this row here. I think it's the 5th row. Let's count. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's the 5th row. I've got the 5th and the 6th row to go, the rest of the 5th and then the 6th. And then I have to block it and mount it. Okay. Now, for those of you that do not know how to block tatting yet, that is next Tuesday's class, blocking our tatting. And we're going to show you how to wet block and we're going to show you how to steam block. They're 2 different techniques, okay? They're done about the same way, but steam blocking, your thread doesn't get as wet blocking, okay? So that's as far as I've made it on mine, but we're going to show you with another piece how to do this. Remember I told you all that the pattern I did for my mom was the center portion of the honey doily that Renelec did many moons ago. I think it was 2016, 17. And I tatted it. I did that whole entire doily. And I showed it to my mom, and she really liked this section of the doily. She said the way that the thread moved intrigued her. Now, mind you, this was before her dementia set in, and it was pretty bad, okay? But things like this would mesmerize her, okay? So I thought when she passed, I took it off her window because that's where she hung it, and it had little crystals throughout the pattern, okay? And at the bottom, I had a crystal that was like about this long, all right? And so I thought, well, I'm going to do one, and I'm going to make it a dream catcher, okay? So I've got feathers to go on it. I've got the beads to go on it, but this is going to be a dream catcher. But the problem with it is, can y'all see? My ring allows it to be floppy, okay? I don't want it floppy. I want it tight. But I covered my ring. I joined as I went. And I didn't like the results. So I've got to take this off, redo it. It's only thread. I keep telling myself it's only thread. It's really not. It's thread. But it's costly. And if you can do this without making a mistake, it's great. But I didn't have any other rings at the time. And I thought, well, that's going to have to do. But I really don't like the way it looks. So I'm going to show you how to find the right measurement for your piece. But I also want to show you this. This is a square, and it's called a magic square. Now you can also mount magic squares on rings like this, or you can get square rings. Okay, you have to order them, but you can get a square ring. But I think it's very unique to take a square ring. You know, the square ring don't fit in a round hole. Well, this does. I think it's unique if you can take this square tatted piece, center it up in a ring, and mount it, okay? And then off to the sides here, add little dingle dangles, you know, pretties, things like that. Or even come in with some woven lace on the back side, okay? It can add a whole new dimension and depth to your tatted piece if you choose to use something different, okay? Does everybody see that? Well, hello, Granny. All right, Marie. That's fine. That's why it's always up there. All right, there you go. So now you see how a different shaped piece would look in a ring. Now, tell me that isn't gorgeous. Now, if you change the colors up, okay, and made your chains one color, your rings here, I'm variegated. It would look like little flowers. Okay. So see, you can do this. Just when you go to mount it, if you're going to do something like this, where it fits inside center, you have to center it. And where you have to mount it is you're going to have to join your threads here. And they would be temporary threads, not permanent. And you would mount this here, here, and here. You would join with these picos, okay? And you would stretch that thread out to the side. And you would make sure your measurement was even on all 4 joining sides. That takes time and what? Patience. Like I said, tatting will teach you patience. If it teaches you nothing else, it will teach you patience. Okay? So, with that thought in mind, what are we going to do with our piece today? Well, here is the size 10 version of it. It has not been blocked. Okay? But you see how in this ring, the ring swallows it. Do we want it to look like this, or do we want to get a smaller ring and try it in that? Okay, let's see. Here's a smaller ring. Now, it will fit snug on this smaller ring. Okay? But to me, that looks too squished together. Okay? Now, mind you, this is not the best tatting in the world that I have done. This is some of the first tatting I ever did years ago. This is probably 17-year-old tatting thread. I don't even have this thread in size 10. I'll be honest, I don't have any size 10. But this here, this whole piece was done in a size 10, but it just barely, you know, fits the other ring. And this one, it sort of kind of gobbles the ring up. I don't like that look. If you like that look, great. If you don't, there's always ways you can change it. Now, if we block this piece will grow because, as you can see, as I pull on this, it stretches. It's cotton, folks. Cotton gives. It stretches. And it stretches in all directions. All right? So my advice is, if you don't want that look, go ahead, block it, stretch it out, let it dry, and then bring in the ring of choice, okay? The one you like that fits it best. You may still have a little gap along the outer edge between the doily and the ring. That's okay, because there's ways that you can fill in that gap. You can use beads. You know, the long beads, I forget what they're called. Lord, it was on the tip of my tongue. Barb, help. What is the name of the long beads? They have a name. Okay, Mary, you have a good day. Bugle, thank you, Katia. Sometimes I get those brain farts and they just don't want to leave. Anyway, you can put bugle beads between this picot and the ring on the thread that you are going to attach to the ring. You could put bugle beads over the picot and make your picot long, and then put a bulb pin, paper clip, some kind of a stitch marker at the end, and then you've already got your gap taken care of. So you have to plan ahead on how you're going to mount it on which sized ring, okay? And most doilies will give you in the instructions approximate measurements on what size they are, okay? Yeah, exactly. Arlene's got a good suggestion there. Check the edges of the bugle beads. Some are very sharp. For those, add a seed bead to cushion those edges, okay? Right. There are many different sized bugle beads. So plan your sun catcher out before you go, before you start anything. Do you want your sun catcher to be this big and fit in a ring this size? Okay. Then you plan ahead for that, because once you put this outer row on, you can't take it out unless you snip it off and go back through. Okay. So plan out how you want your beads to set in your doily for a dream catcher, a sun catcher, whatever. Now you can always come back and stitch in hanging beads throughout. Okay, if you're doing a dream catcher, you know, they have beads. You can stitch in beads. And you can use sewing thread with this. You don't want it to see, get the clear sewing thread. And it looks like the bead's floating. All right. So that's how you figure out the size of ring you need. Now the rings don't come in half sizes. Very seldom do you find a half size ring, unless it's a macrame ring for those big macrame projects. And if you find a half size and that's what you need, great, more power to you. But if you don't, you have to accommodate for the difference, the ½ inch difference between the size of your dolly and the size of your ring. All right. Yeah, I will say this. If they are metal bugle beads like sterling silver, you can run them across a little sandpaper, or you can get those little metal, tiny metal files they use in jewelry making, and you can sand it smooth. Okay, you can use stitch beads, feathers, charms, whatever. This is your project and what you want. At that, once the dolly's made by the designer's instructions, the rest is all your fun. Okay, so how do we get this mounted to this? Well, you have two ways. Okay, you can mount as you go, or you can mount before you cover the outer edge like this. Okay, you can mount that on there. Just count up the picos, see how far. And when you do that, you have to mount this side, go over here to this side. This side, you always want to mount across. Why? Because then you stretch it evenly. All right, you can see where to stretch and where not to stretch. Okay, so given that, you can do this, and you just take your thread if you're going to do it, and this here would be thread that matches your project. Okay, that's why I'm using different colors so you can see what I'm doing. Feed it through that picot, get a hook to pull it through. I'm just going to grab this like this and do it this way, as if I'm pulling a piece of thread through a picot. And of course, it's not going to work for me. Let me get that crochet hook. I got one. I do have one. Where'd you go? You ran off. My crochet hook. My dog grabbed it. I could say that. You know how we used to say the dog ate our homework? My dog grabbed my crochet hook. And I wouldn't be lying if I said that, because she does try to eat my tatting. You people that have cats don't realize how hard it is with a dog. They run very fast. All right, you grab it. If it's going to irritate me today, I got Murphy here. He's been here all morning, folks. I am not kidding you. I don't even want to discuss it. Now, when you get that, it's still attached to my shuttle. Remember that. You get that. You want to pull it around like this. See? Everybody see what I'm doing here? You're going to feed both pieces, your shuttle and your end thread through there. Okay, now watch this. This is a neat way to get a double stitch where you want it to go. Okay, you see that? There's your double stitch. You pull it down, you can see it right there. Y'all see that? It's a double stitch. And it's because you pulled it tight. See? Come here. right there. You see it? There's our double stitch. Now, if we are going to use it snug on this side, you'd pull it all the way. If you're going to put beads on it, you'd thread your beads on before you attach the two on that. All right? Then you cut your tails. All right? Make sure you cut the tails. You would go to the opposite side and you would adjust accordingly. The reason you want this loose is so you can stretch from side to side. See, if I pull this way and pull that way, it stretches it to fit. Everybody seeing that? What's a good way to coat the beads so they won't tarnish? My advice to you is a lot of nail polish. Okay? Beads will not tarnish unless they are sterling silver or brass. Okay? And for beads, I would use clear nail polish. Painting your beads with a varnish before you put it on your piece, yeah, you got to drill them holes back out because the varnish fills in. Whereas with nail polish, clear nail polish, you can take something like your crochet hook and jab it, it'll go through. Okay? So, but you see how this will adjust. If we got it here, because this moves just like a slip knot. All right? And you want to cut your tails pretty long because you've got to weave these tails into that chain as you go along. Okay? Now, how do we get started getting it on there as this part right here? That is the easiest part of this whole thing. Yes, Fred, I know. The silver turned black. The difference between brass and stainless steel. Stainless steel you cannot use outside, but you can use it inside the house. It will not tarnish, it will not turn, and it will not discolor your thread. Brass will. If you're going to do something you don't want to tarnish, you want to make sure, above all else, that it's stainless steel, not brass. If you're going to use brass, nail polish, clear varnish, you know, the spray varnish, I think Rust-Oleum puts it out. Lay your rings out there out in the yard. Don't do it in the house. Please do not use any spray chemicals in the house, especially varnish. It can seriously hurt you. Lay your rings out in the backyard. All your rings, if you're going to make 20 of them, lay all 20 rings out, okay? Spray them with that Rust-Oleum varnish. Let it dry. Flip your rings and spray it on the other side. That is all you're going to have to do. Let them dry a full 24 hours before you use them. Okay, does that help everybody with the brass rings? Or you could sit there and paint them until the cows come home with nail polish. Nail polish will come off. Fair warning. Nail polish will come off the brass rings. Unless you sand them with some sandpaper, I would use a very small grit sandpaper, okay? And it will not hurt the brass, but it gives the nail polish something to bite to. Yeah, you can use UV resin. Katia, do you have a step-by-step on that we can share with the class? Because I think the resin, it does better. That's just my opinion. But I've used resin before. Folks, if you're going to use resin, try to use it in a well-ventilated room. Same thing as the varnish, it can hurt you. Breathing it in can seriously hurt you. So, hi, Sue. Sue teaches the design class, and she's talking about starting it up. We don't know when. She's got some things she's got to finish up, and then she'll start the classes. Would you please, Katia? Because I think it would be very helpful to the students. Just tell them the type to get and so forth. All right, so given that, we're going to put this outer band on this ring, okay? So let's get her going. Back this up because this is a thread I want to use. I'll move this all over. Now, how do we wrap this on our ring? Now, mind you, I could probably do this without my shuttle because the ring is so big, but I am going to show you how to do it, and it doesn't matter which size ring you use. You can use rings like this. You can make little snowflakes, okay? Get you some of that metallic thread or some of that glitter chronic, what's it called? Braid, chronic braid, and do it on the outer edge. You get some sparkle with it. And then use your metallic threads, tat little tiny snowflakes, put them in the little tiny rings, and you've got an ornament for your Christmas tree. So you can do this on any size ring you want. What you want to do is give yourself plenty of tail because this is what you're going to hang it with. All right. So you go through. Now, mind you, I could just drop my shuttle through and pull this up. But you go through, you grab that thread, run your shuttle through, and pull it over. Okay? Then you go this way with it. Sorry, I flipped it the wrong way. And you run your shuttle through that and pull it up. What have we done? We have created a double stitch. And you do that all the way around. Just remember, you pull up from the bottom. Okay? Pull it down, pull it through, and back up to finish our double stitch. This here, this part here, right here, is our finger in the pinch. Okay? Look, if we've got this in the pinch, we're going under, over, over, under. You do the same thing on your ring, and the ring is basically your pinch. Has everybody got that? Everybody understand that? Yes, you do the same thing for needle. That much I do know. Barb, thank you. I fought too hard with needle, more than I should have. I'll be honest with you. And Barb told me, you got to quit fighting the needle. So, now, you see, this is your pinch, and you treat it as the pinch. All right? Does that make sense? It's real easy. You're going to be doing under and over. Okay? So you go under, pull it, and then you go over and pull it. And you come up with your double stitch. That's the easiest way to remember the steps. You're going under the ring, pull it up, take it over, pull it down, and go under the ring and pull it up. And you got your double stitch. And it will lay flat all the way around your ring like this. These need adjusting. They've been in the box because I haven't decided. But you adjust them and you make them even all the way around. Okay? And you'll have quite a little ridge here. And it does look really, really pretty once everything's lined up and fixed. Okay? So, let me go back to the other camera and see if there is any questions on any of this. All right. Any questions, guys? Any questions? Now, next week, we're going to get more involved. Okay. Is there a drawing of how to do this? Jolene, if there is in the files, I haven't found it yet. Doesn't mean that there's not. I have not found it. I'm still hunting through the files for stuff. But if there is, I'll see if I can get it up this weekend. If not, I do have a video that walks you through step by step on the class channel for both needle and shuttle. All right. It's just a video. It's Pam, I can't even remember the playlist it's under. No, you don't tie any knots. You won't be tying any knots. You will be feeding your tail. Let me show you. You're going to be feeding your tail, okay, okay, as you go. This tail here, you want to leave, because when you get all the way back to the front of it, you've got two tails. That's what you're going to hang it with. When you're stretching the doily, you just tat over those tails as you're going. It will hold. And that double stitch that you create fits right in. It doesn't break the chain. Yeah, there's ends there, but you do not sew them in, knot them in, or anything. You just tap right over them. You would take that tail and just lay it right on your ring as you're going, and you tap right over it as you go. Does that make sense to you, Esther? But you want two tails when you get to the end, so you've got your cord to hang it from. Okay, now if you're going to hang this outside in the weather, I advise having fishing line or monofilament line to hang it with, because that thread's going to break. Okay, you can hang it with wire. You can hang it whatever you want to hang it. All right. Dream catchers, you hang them on your walls, things like that. I've seen some beautiful dream catchers made with tatted lace. There was a lady that showed wedding pictures. She had a bohemian style wedding, and they had to walk through an aisle that was filled with dream catchers of all different size. And what it was they had the archway going down the aisle, and on the archways is where all these dream catchers hung. It was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. So, everybody got that? Told you it was going to be an easy class. It's going to be a short class. So, do we have any questions? Beads. What to use for anything? Any ideas? Thank you, Katia. Pam, you've got that link? Yeah, because this is just wrapping a cabone ring. You know, same deal, cabone ring. I've got, let me get it over here. Well, of course, this doesn't work too well for me. I'll just throw you over there. I want to show you guys something here real quick. You see my bag of cabone rings? All of these are cabone rings, and you see the variety of sizes. Okay, if it's round, it's a cabone ring. You can use it. Okay, the blocking comes next week. I'm going to take you through a full class of blocking, both steam blocking and wet blocking. These are cabone rings I found years ago. Umpteen gazillion years ago. Oh, there it goes. At Michael's. These are little doves. Can y'all see that? They got little doves on them. All right. Now, you can tat something on here and it looks like the dove is flying off with it. Okay, but I thought they were so cute. I was like, what can I use that for? Well, you know the angels that everybody tats at Christmas? This could be a halo with a dove. So there you go. I've got all kinds of weird stuff in here. All kinds. Um, they've got, I've got Cabone rings with two-sided. See? You can use those. You use your imagination. Use the supplies you have on hand. You don't have to buy anything other than thread and a shuttle. The rest can be sourced from in your own home. These wooden ones here were a belt. I took it apart. I didn't like the belt. All right. This white one here came off of a pocketbook. It's leather. It's covered in leather. You know, I've got some clear ones that came off of wind chimes that broke. So you can use anything that is round as a Cabone ring, and you can make things using that. And here is metal caps that went to a watch that broke 150 years ago. But it can be used. See, it can be used. And it's got a variety of different designs on each one of them, you know, different colors so you can coordinate. Then I've got really tiny Cabone rings. Can y'all see that? Let me put my hand behind. Y'all see that? How tiny that is? Yeah, you can hot glue items on there. You can do whatever you want to do with your project. Exactly. Exactly. Arlene's using mixed media pen. She's doing a mixed media pendant. She started by tatting over a small brass ring from a pin kit. Now, what she's talking about, let me see if I've got one in here that's got that small ring on it. I should have somewhere. Let me see. Yeah. What she's talking about is this little ring here on the ink pen. And she tatted on that. So you see, she used an ink pen. Okay, folks, you can salvage from inside your own home things to use. Okay? Don't be afraid to think outside the box when it comes to tatting, because it's not just doilies anymore. People don't have doilies on their tables. Okay, back in the day when people used doilies, it was because their furniture was costly. It was real wood. All right, it was solid. And if you got a ring on it or whatever from a drink, it ruined the table and you had to pay to get it refinished, or you had to spend the time fixing it yourself. Well, nowadays, our furniture comes out of a box. It takes nuts, bolts, pegs, and everything else to put it together. 2 big winds, and it's gone. All right? So, doilies went away when the furniture changed to what it is today. Okay? And so, you've got to think outside the box. What else can I do with these doily patterns? What else can I make for today's world with that? And that's what you want to do. Vicious. Somebody closed the car door. They're not allowed to. I'm just saying. She's a good guard dog. She stands behind her mama and barks. I will not say no more. You all that were at Tat Days know that. But yeah, think outside the box with your project. Make it your own. Then when you get through, I want you to share it with the class. Okay? Another thing you can do with tatted doilies, and I've seen this, is you go and you find tatted doilies or crocheted doilies at the dollar store and places like that. They're machine worked. Okay? They're nothing fancy. But needless to say, they took one of these big artist boards And they mounted these doilies all over in different colors, mind you, on this artist board and hung it on their wall. You talking pretty. Oh my goodness, it was gorgeous. Okay, so you can do a lot if you just let your imagination flow and go. And that's all we're asking you to do. Use it in a way that suits you. All right? Let's see. Arlene says there was a gent who collects and carves stone statues. He tats doilies to put under them that coordinates with the statue and protects the shelves. So there you go. He uses doilies. Exactly, Jolene. I mean, my house is one big, piece of cardboard going down the road with wheels. And I use doilies on my end tables because it's pressed wood or MDF wood with this self-sticking, looks like wood covering on it. Well, when you sit a glass on it that sweats, you can't get that ring off. It will not come off for love nor money. So they give us these little coasters through the manufacturer to go with our end tables, right? Well, it would help if they were level. Otherwise, you chase your cup across the table, and I'm like, this is worthless. So I just use, a hot pad or something like that on my end table to put a drink on. And I used plastic doilies for a long time, and they worked. But every time we'd go to move, I'd forget to pick that doily up. And we'd park, and it'd be caught somewhere, twixt and twain. So, yeah, I had to stop that. Yeah, make an incredible dessert plate by gluing a doily to the underside of the clear glass. That works. And they do have glass glue. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, Katia shared the shuttle version, and Pam shared the needle version on how to tat your cabone rings. And it's the same principle. It's just a little bigger is all. So everybody got that? Now next week, you're going to need a coffee cup. I'm not going to tell you why, but you're going to need a coffee cup. One that you drink hot cocoa out of. If you don't like hot cocoa, you like hot tea, you need the one that you drink the hot stuff out of. All right, so you need that. You need thread. You need a shuttle or needle. You need scissors and a picot gauge. That's next week's class. That's a new project we're starting, and it's probably going to last 4 classes. All right? But when we're done, you're going to like the results. It's another doily, but what we're doing with it is not a doily. All right? So, any questions, guys? If you don't have any questions, make sure you hit the like button, notification bell, and the subscribe button if you have not already subscribed. Okay? If you would like to register for the classes, you can register for the classes. They're down below in the description box where to subscribe. Okay? If you feel like you have learned something today and you'd like to help with the web page cost and stuff like that, you're more than welcome to donate 50 cents, 10 cents. It all counts. Well, thank you, Jolynn. This was a gift. Someone sent this to me. They know I like purple. And this is actual amethyst. And she says it's a healing bracelet. And it does. It calms me. Believe it or not. It's weird. Okay. Any size, shape. As long as it's got a handle on it. Okay. And it's a mug. Doesn't matter the shape. Doesn't matter the shape. You're welcome, Jill. You're very welcome, Mary. You're welcome, Deborah. All of you, this would not be possible without you. Okay? So remember that. You make these classes great. All right? So until next week on Tuesday, I wish you all the best for the weekend. I hope the sun shines bright, the weather is cooler for you, and all of your threads make beautiful lace. Happy tatting, guys, and I'll see you next week. Have a good day. Bye-bye.